Hey guys, before we get to this video, real quick, give me just a minute for the Anson Belt and buckle. You may have heard me talk about them before. This is a really cool system in which belt straps and buckles are interchangeable, giving you practically infinite numbers of combinations from leather, canvas, and more with brass, brushed, stainless steel, all different types of options for buckles. Plus, this is my old belt. I've had it over 10 years. In that time, I've cut it, I've drilled new holes in it, and believe you me, I can be a slave to this belt. If I gain a little weight, I freak out because it's too tight. I don't want to go to the next hole. If I lose a little weight, man, am I proud to go to that hole. It runs your life sometimes. The Anson Belt has these special little teeth in the back, 1/4-inch adjustments. Put a little weight on, take a little weight off, and it's done. You don't have to drill holes or cut anything. It's always there for the fluctuations of your body. I hit the link in the description. The best deal is the 2-buckle, 3-strap combo. That's 6 belts for under $100. I like these things. I've been using them for a while. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this video. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Angeles Forest on this very chilly January day. It's in the low 40s out here today, and we're in the 2019, well, actually it's an 18, but I'm going to call it a 19 Lamborghini Huracan Performante Spyder. As you can expect from the name, this is the soft top version of the Huracan Performante, the extraordinarily fast mid-engine, naturally aspirated coupe from Lamborghini. Shares a basic platform with the Audi R8, although the R8 is longer and taller. To get from a regular Huracan Spyder to a Spyder Performante, you remove 77 pounds of weight. Now, to get from a Huracan Performante coupe to a Huracan Performante Spyder, you add 276 pounds of weight. So you get that? This car is 77 pounds lighter than a regular Spyder, but 200 pounds heavier than a coupe. So it's 3,700 pounds. It has a 640 horsepower, naturally aspirated V10 engine with a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox, all-wheel drive, and it's 443 pounds of torque. The price tag is, are you ready for this? $360,000 as tested. Whoa! This thing ain't cheap. It's also quite small. In this interior, the room for the soft top, which folds behind the seats here, that room has come out of the cabin, so you lose some leg room. So it's actually not super comfortable for me to drive. The seats are really hard. They are power, but I have them all the way back. And I'm driving with the top down right now because my head is actually pushed into the roof if I drive it with the top up. So it's not for people over 6 feet tall, unfortunately. It is a Lamborghini-sized Lamborghini. Believe it or not, my Countach has more room, but it's really about how it drives. We're going to start off in sport mode, which is my favorite mode, and then go to Corsa and see how this 200-mile-an-hour convertible, how she do. Let's go. Where last week's test of the Acura NSX, sort of a highly digital supercar of the future, this represents a clinging to the old school. No turbos here, no hybrid systems. Just 8,500 naturally aspirated RPM. Car feels very stable, very planted. Big carbon ceramic brakes, 6-piston. Trofeo R tires, very sticky. wheels, very light. Lots of pops and crackles going on there. If you go for a good couple of pulls, you can actually look into the exhaust afterwards and see the collectors glowing on the inside. It is cool. The exhaust is about a foot long on this car. The dual clutch gearbox is really a staggeringly good evolution of this system. To think about where we went from the original E-gear in 04 to the dual clutch we're at now, the shifts are so smooth in sport mode. It's really just totally imperceptible in Strada, and then in sport, it has just the right amount of feedback, and in Corsa, it kicks a little bit. We're going to go into Corsa as we go through the tunnel. We're going to enter the tunnel at 5,500, okay? Yowza! Oh, man. All the revs. This engine revs so much that you can downshift from 5 grand in some places. Now, although peak torque does come on down low, the engine is so smooth and happy to rev that you can run it almost anywhere in the power band. It's got a ton of power. You know, and because it's NA, that power builds in a linear and predictable fashion. It's very responsive, it's very sharp. The steering is light. It's a variable weight setup, so when you're into Corsa, it does get heavier, and in Strada, it's pretty light, but it's very light all the time, really. They have engineered the bad parts of that kick out, which I really do, I am about that. Them single clutch gearboxes kick too hard. This has got, Bellissimo kick. Man, to go from 500 horsepower when this engine started 14 years ago to 640 right now by only adding a fifth of a liter of displacement and no forced induction is so impressive. That plus the evolution of the gearbox. It's just a mobbing, huh? God damn, that is a glorious noise. Fourth gear's got a lot of legs. Fourth gear is good for many, many things. I really am impressed with the ride. Even in Corsa mode, the ride is not too punishing. I was really expecting this thing to beat me up real bad. It's good. That was just a downshift from 6. bite. They're not overly grabby. The first time you step on the brakes, you can immediately get used to what they're going to do. They don't jump out at you. And of course, although there are some downsides to the Spyder, leg room, visibility, that kind of stuff, a lot of upsides. I hear a lot of that engine, and that's what I'm paying for. I also have to give them props because their automatic mode is very good. Right gear most of the time. Now granted, I'm only using automatic in traffic in the city. I prefer manual in these cars. When you get to the rev limiter in Corsa, it will not upshift for you. See, there it is. That was intentional. In Strada and Sport, it will upshift at red line. What a glorious automobile this is. Woo! Wow, the feel. It really has a pure driving feel. Don't end. Fourth gear really just lasts forever. The suspension is doing a really good job here of giving me that feel, the tactile feel through the road while really smoothing out some of the bigger bumps. Woohoo! It's kind of aggro, huh? I just tried to say aggro and angry at the same time. I meant aggro. It's aggro. Performante I've driven was an Auto Club Speedway and it had a VF blower on it. It was making like 900 horsepower. And I was genuinely worried that when I got in this one, after the 900 horsepower, that I would be disappointed, that it might feel slow, you know, that it might feel like I was dragging an anchor or something to have that VF blower one, and then to go back to this plain old naturally aspirated one. Now that may be, the feeling may be different if we go out on a big NASCAR oval where everything tends to slow down. But truth be told, this car is still just, it's crazy fast. It's so crazy fast. It's absolutely beautiful to drive. It rides well. I don't want to say it's comfortable because truth be told, for me it's not that comfortable. Look, I'm gonna nose lift here. Hydraulic nose in the suspension, very helpful. Gets you into these driveways and stuff. Truth be told, for me, it's not that comfortable. The seating position is wrong if you're over 6 foot tall. There's just not enough room. So you need to either try out a coupe, or honestly, my advice is at that point I would go for the R8. The R8 is much roomier, and it's however, if you fit in the car, start from a baseline of there. This car is easy to live with. It's not a pain. The trunk's a little small, but it can be quiet if you want in Strata mode. Look, see that? See how much quieter it just got? Where's neutral? Look. Believe it or not, that's quieter. It's crazy fast. It's very easy to drive. It wants to work with you. It's got some old school charm, but it definitely feels like a new car. And even without the turbos, it is reasonably fuel efficient. Maybe not at the EPA cycle, but I've found in 3 days of driving this car so far that it's really as efficient as the NSX, which I was driving last week. In the real world, it's pretty much the same. So thank you to Lamborghini for letting me have this experience. The car is really, really cool, and it's a lot of fun to drive. Thank you to you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.